Welcome to How We Heard It, the podcast about music, pop culture, movies, and more, with your hosts Wayne Bledsoe and Chuck Campbell.
Kamusta. This is Chuck Campbell with
Wayne Bledsoe, and
I'm John Baker.
All right. So that was how you would say hello in the Philippines. It's borrowed from Spanish como esta, which because of the colonial influence of Spain on the Philippines. So, and I guess in Tagalog, they've adapted. Too much language already. Anyway, that's how you say hello in the Philippines. And today we have decided to revisit one of a topic that we covered over a year ago. And when we were doing that, we were like, we could do this like every other week, probably. Because we're talking about guilty pleasures, and it's things we like that are just not fashionable to like for a musician or a music critic or engineer or whatever. And we like it anyway. And we can't decide if we're guilty or feel guilty or not guilty about it. But that was one of the 3 most listened to episodes that we've done in more than a year. So definitely easy to go back and revisit it.
I feel no guilt. None.
Wayne,
Yeah, I don't either. I don't.
Y'all are the no regrets types.
That's right.
Like, oh, no.
What will people think?
Yeah, well, why did I say that? Oh, no. What if my mom hears this? Or, what are the friends I went to high school with?
I don't care at all.
Well, I mean, and I'll say this. I think about every week, unintentionally, I admit to guilty pleasures like all the time. And I was just telling you guys that, sometimes I'll leave the studio and be like, oh, did I really say that? Is that really? So I don't know that I have a whole lot of bombshell admissions to make, but I can at least maybe connect the dots, things that I've hinted at, and just say, yeah, I do like this. So that's kind of my clearing up my guilty pleasures.
Okay.
I will admit that, like just the other day, I went to the grocery store and I pulled into it was a nice day outside and I had my windows open, and a Madonna song from Ray of Light came on.
Okay.
And I dig that album. It sounds really good.
It was a good album, yeah.
And but I pulled into the parking lot. It was kind of turned up, and there was another car parked next to me, and I thought, I don't want to turn that. I don't want anybody to know I'm listening to Madonna.
Okay. I've done that with Unbought before, too. So, okay.
Yeah, I think maybe if someone recognized that, they probably liked it too. It was long enough ago that if they didn't even recognize it, then they wouldn't judge you. So, I say screw them.
Well, it's also just that that in consideration of having my car stereo blasting out,
Yeah.
I listen to music loud in my car when I'm driving. But
okay.
Yeah, so do I.
that's what it's for.
That's right. And you don't really know if something's going to sound good until you put it in the car and turn it up really loud.
Yeah.
That's how I test mixes from the studio here. I listen to them in my car.
Yeah, that's the way it should be.
That's my best listening environment.
Yeah. And heavy traffic. Well, why don't one of you all start off here with something?
Well, since we started about cars, some of my favorite driving music.
Okay.
And their critics have never liked Aerosmith. I've liked Aerosmith pretty much all the way through, except they did the crappy Diane Warren power ballad stuff, which I hated.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned them before, but I think Aerosmith from the 70s, their first few albums, I mean,
Dude, I liked them in the 80s. I liked Ragdoll and Lovin' an Elevator. And
it's funny you brought that up. I just last night was surfing through YouTube and found the making of Aerosmith Pump.
Uh-huh.
And it was just them in the studio, and I love that kind of stuff. I love watching them create stuff. But it's funny that you mentioned Aerosmith because I just watched it.
Yeah, and that's when, that is when they came back. That was after, they went through all the
drugs in the world.
All the drugs in the world. And I interviewed both Steven Tyler and Joe Perry in the same year, and it was, I can't remember which album they were supporting then. It was not one of their best albums, but it was still, in a fairly good era. But it was interesting talking to them because they had been through all those drugs, and critics had never liked them, and all of a sudden they were back, and they were making money, and they were clean, and they had to, one of the things that one of them told me was they always stayed busy. before shows, after shows. They always had
To avoid
plans.
temptation of drugs?
Yep.
Okay.
But, they rocked their asses off. Joe Perry was telling me about an album that he wanted to make, which turned out to be Honkin' on Bobo, which did nothing, but was, if you ever run across that album, listen to it, because it's great. They go back to their kind of blues rock roots. They're covering old blues songs and stuff. And, man, it's terrific. I just think Joe Perry's a great guitar player. I think Steven Tyler is a great vocalist, and the rhythm section rocks it.
Well, and they owe a great debt to Rick Rubin, because I think he resuscitated their career by bringing Run DMC in to do Walk This Way.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
That brought them back into the mainstream again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was terrific.
They were a talking point for young people of other genres who'd really never heard of them before.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
And
they were real nervous about it. I mean, Run DMC was nervous about it, and
Yeah.
Aerosmith was nervous about it. Like, what do we have in common with these people? But it turned into a huge hit.
It was magic, yeah.
Yeah, it was great. And I really think that's when they started getting at least commercial respectability. But, I mean, the critics now, I don't think any...
Huge commercial respectability. I mean, they weren't just like Revived and Surviving. They were, I don't know, were they even that big in the 70s? Cause
Not that big.
I mean,
They
were in that confluence of the MTV commercial radio, all that stuff happening at once, and they were right in the center of it. So everybody who was in the center of that was making tons of money and tons of awareness. So
That was right when videos were first getting mainstream.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they've kind of come and gone as far as the way how much they were appreciated. Nobody appreciates them now, I don't think. But I think they made a whole lot of good music, and I stand behind that. I have no guilt.
All right.
I don't feel guilty about Aerosmith.
Yeah,
Toys in the Attic is just a killer rock record.
Toys in the Attic rocks.
Yeah.
They're great ones.
All right. So I like to think I'm a multi-dimensional kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I've liked a lot of music that's been very anarchy or somber or enigmatic and all of that stuff and dark stuff. But I love songs. I love if they hit right. If they hit right. And I don't think there's any shame of it, but somehow it isn't fashionable, as I said, to like goofy love songs. And we've talked about the Beatles, of course, many times. And I know both of you like Lennon better than McCartney, and you occasionally throw digs at McCarthy.
I don't think I've thrown any digs.
I mean,
well, you all have thrown out shade on his like fluffier songs, and the Wing stuff and whatever.
Yeah, solo stuff. He has some crappy solo stuff.
I don't think
great
they're
solo
crappy.
stuff,
I don't think they're crappy. I was listening. It's like silly love songs. Okay, I'll give you. That's a little hard. Even though, as he says, what's wrong with that? Some people want to fill the world with silly love song. What's wrong with that? It's like, he's right. And I was looking at the others. I thought, well, I like these songs. And it's like a what? Another Day. I think that's fine. So
I like that one.
Coming Up. I forgot all about Coming Up, but in 80, it's just like You Want to Love, The Last Forever. It's coming up, and it had that great. That kind
he's
of
a musical. He's a musical soul.
Yeah, maybe I'm amazed. I think that's awesome.
That's a great song.
That's a great
I love that song.
Okay, all right.
No, I mean, I stand behind Off the Ground is the worst album ever created by a great artist.
Okay.
When you have a song called Biker Like an Icon.
Okay, well,
it was junk. The whole album was just awful, and he is a
But Junk is a good song.
Yeah, Junk's a great song. That's off his first solo album.
well, I mean, I wasn't as exposed to him, and I would think the things that were flops, I just haven't heard yet. I just never really heard it because.
Well, you weren't when
I wasn't when he was out and popular. I wasn't following him. So I would hear what was on the radio, maybe.
Right.
But so I didn't spend a lot of time listening to stuff that was bad.
Yeah, I was reviewing those later albums. Mine.
Okay.
You weren't reviewing them.
No.
And so I listened to most of those, and there's some good ones. Memory Almost Full is a really good album.
Right.
And he's got several scattered through.
Chaos and Creation in the Backyard.
Yeah, that's
is
a good
really
one.
good one.
Well, back in the day, if your car was broken down, who do you think would stop, Paul McCartney or John Lennon?
Oh, I think either one of them would have.
I think they would have.
Who would you rather have a beer with?
I don't know. I mean, Lennon is more interesting to me. I don't think McCartney gets enough credit.
Right.
Because I think he was as cutting edge as Lennon and sometimes more so.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. But, I mean, my favorite Beatles songs I have more Lennon songs than McCartney songs.
Right. I would rather have a beer with Ringo, probably.
Yeah, probably.
If you just want a dumb fun
Well, you know,
time.
I mean, actually, I think George would probably be the best one to have a beer with.
Yeah,
I
guess
think
so.
George just seems, he seems so down to earth and just so, level-headed about stuff. I mean, Ringo the same thing, but...
Yeah.
And he just didn't seem to have the ego. I mean, he didn't get the credit for so long that he deserved.
Okay. All right, let's go for more controversy then. You got something?
Okay, I'm gonna throw out somebody that critics hated.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, I bought an album. I was like maybe 11 when I bought this album, and I took it home. And my sister's boyfriend at the time, I said, "Oh, I just bought this." And he looked at it, and I will never forget the look of disdain on his face. I bought an album by Three Dog Night, which Three Dog Night they're a kind of a cheesy band in a way.
Yeah.
But I think they're like the greatest cover band of all time. I mean, they covered other people's songs. They introduced the world to Randy Newman, to Laura Nyro, to Harry Nilsson, to John Hyatt. They covered, all these songs that they covered. Paul Williams was another one. It's like, and they did a great job. I mean, Mama Told Me Not to Come is a Randy Newman song, and you know how much I love Randy Newman.
Right.
They did it better. They made it a better song by adding what they added.
Right.
His version is good, but their version's great.
I'm not making this up, but I was at the gym before I came here.
Right.
And I literally thought, like, why have we never talked about Three Dog Night?
Yeah.
Because I knew they were big, and it's like I've not heard you all talk about them at all. It's like, and so I wondered if they were like some. So here you are saying that they were great. So
Well, that was the thing. I mean, they did a lot of hokey garbage, like a lot of people back then did. But, and some of their covers were not as good as the originals. But I mean, they covered Elton John, for goodness sakes, before Elton John had anything here in the U.S. They covered Lady Samantha.
okay.
And it's like they had their ears open. And they were it's three lead vocalists, and they were all good.
No.
And Chuck Negron became the worst heroin addict on the face of the earth. If you ever read his his autobiography, I mean, it rivals John Phillips as being the most pathetic drug addict book of all time. Mm. Yeah,
Never knew that. I always thought Three Dog Night was pretty squeaky clean.
They were the opposite. Sort of like the Beach Boys, you think the Beach Boys are all sun and fun, and it's like, no, they hung out with Charles Manson.
Yeah. Well, do you have anything, John?
Well, I was going to say Donna Summer.
Donna Summer, yeah.
And it's mainly because of Giorgio Moroder,
Right.
Yeah.
her producer, who pioneered early synth drum machine synchronization. It was before there was MIDI.
I agree. I think that Donna Summer and Giorgio Moroder, they gave some credibility and everything to disco that it was lacking in the other acts. But that was were great.
You can
They
make
were
fun.
great.
You can make fun of Donna Summer for just making sex moans through a whole song. But
I'm not going to complain about that. I mean, that's awesome. You know,
I agree. And they were a good pair. They worked well together. And the song "I Need Love" is amazing. The way the synthesizers evolve throughout the song,
right?
It's trance-like.
Yeah. It was very. It was kind of the ambient and the rolling rhythms and everything, and just her just soaring around the notes and not even using words most of the time.
And
it was magic.
And he was syncing up synthesizers and drum machines before there was a language to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of invented that, which is pretty pioneering.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was. I think we talked about it before. Shooter Jennings, Waylon Jennings' son, did a tribute.
He did.
EP to
That's the
Giorgio
only
Moroder.
Shooter Jennings I ever reviewed. Of course, I was reviewing that one, and it was
loved it.
sincere. I was
Yeah,
like,
it
I don't
was.
know about this. And he was like, "Oh, he really appreciates
Yeah.
it." You know?
No,
So-
we talked. I interviewed him about it. We talked about it, and he was like, "No, he was right down the line. He thought
Yeah.
Giorgio Moroder was a genius. He
Yeah.
loved him."
think Beck did I Need Love. I saw him do that live.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I Need Love or I Feel Love?
I Feel Love. That's
okay,
it. You're
all right. I was thinking, is there an I Need Love?
No,
okay,
it's I Feel Love. You're right.
Yeah, that's yeah. So I'm not a fan of musicals. I don't really like old musicals and new musicals, but I do love Connect the Dots. Of course, I love Mamma Mia because, and even Mamma Mia 2, which was really pretty terrible. But and the hokey dancing, I can look past that. But just to have all those ABBA songs strung together with Meryl Streep and even Amanda Seyfried and all that. And I also really liked La La Land, which caught me by surprise because I had no interest in Hamilton or what else? What
Did
Book
you see
of Mormon
Hamilton?
and the Mean Girls musical? No, but I just didn't even want to.
I didn't either, but I watched it and I thought it was great.
Well, I was that way about La La Land. My wife really wanted to watch it, and so all right, and I loved it.
Yeah,
Thought it was great.
I didn't see Wicked, but yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was Ryan Gosling, it was Emma Stone, it was Los Angeles, like three things I like automatically, and I just thought it was just well done, and I just felt like it took me somewhere that musicals don't really take me.
Well, and it seemed happy.
Yeah.
It was nice to have something.
Even when it wasn't happy, there was just some kind of optimism. Yeah. Everything was going to work out somehow, even if it actually didn't.
To be honest, I don't even remember the plot. I just remember being very pleasantly surprised and feeling like I like something that makes me feel good.
I have to say I was disappointed because I'd read all the hype about it, and I thought the opening was amazing. And then I thought they're
on the freeway.
Yeah, that was great.
Fantastic.
And then I really didn't like it until you had the section where they're like breaking up or whatever it is, and I thought that was great.
I thought jazz club stuff was great, and I thought Gosling really, I knew Emma Stone was going to pull off her part, but Gosling really, I don't know who else could have done what he did,
Well, he's a good actor. Very few things have I seen him in that I didn't like.
Right.
But yeah, I was disappointed in La La Land, but I'm glad you all liked it.
Yeah. I didn't really hear the hype, I just thought, well, I was thinking if I'm ever going to sit and watch a musical, this sounds like the one I should see.
Right.
And I just assumed it would be like all the others that everybody likes. And did you see the Mean Girls musical?
No.
Whew. That was on like some streaming service, and it was like, wow, this is so awful. I had to turn it off. And I love the original movie.
Oh, me too.
But the musical was terrible.
Yeah, I typically, I say I don't like musicals, but there's so many I've really liked. I thought Hairspray was tons of fun. I
watched that, but I don't know that I got through it. I don't know.
Really? I liked it.
It's just the construction of it. It's like you gotta just like suspend all your disbelief and all that, and
it's
just
not meant to be reality.
No.
Yeah.
And
but I like it better, like with Les Miserables or Sweeney Todd or something, where everything is music. Like Tommy. When you always bring up Tommy.
Well, that's a rock opera, which I think I don't know.
Yeah, but
seemed a little different, but maybe not.
But that's what I think that's what a lot of musicals have turned into. It's like everything. When everything is sung, you don't have to go through back and forth of, oh, well, here we go. Somebody's going to start singing when they were having some dramatic moment.
Right.
Because I generally don't like that.
Oh, I hate that part especially.
But yeah.
All right, take us somewhere else.
Well, I'm specifically bringing up people who will make the rock snobs and different people cringe. Because there's a ton of these people who've come and gone, like with respectability, and then they go back and forth. Everybody hates them, then everybody rediscovers them. Like when I mentioned Lou Christie a long while back, the first round, everybody thought he was just a cheeseball, and then like rock snobs sort of embraced him, and then it was back and forth.
Did he do that lightning strike?
Yeah, lightning strikes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That voice is crazy.
Yeah, he's the only one of those falsetto guys that I like. And it's just because he's so freaking weird.
Yeah.
And the things he sings are strange. But he's like, critics came back around to him. He got to be, cool. So I'm going to bring up Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Okay.
Peter, Paul, and Mary, kind of the first like commercial folk music I heard as a little kid. And I love their harmonies. And I love the songs that they sang. I thought, I'm not as big on Peter Yarrow as a songwriter, But Paul Stuckey, whose real name was Noel, they just gave him the name Paul because it sounded better.
Yeah. Peter, Noel, and Mary.
Yeah, Noel just didn't work. And he was actually a stand-up comedian.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And
Was he funny?
Yeah, he's pretty funny. There's a double album that's Peter, Paul, and Mary Live where he does like 10 minutes of stand-up.
Okay.
That's really funny.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I can't. What were like their bigger hits?
Well, Blowing in the Wind, they're the people who brought that to the
Boom.
forefront. And,
Right, okay.
And the one I didn't like, I Dig Rock and Roll Music, is probably like their highest charting song.
Oh.
It was pretty cheesy.
Didn't they do Puff the Magic Dragon?
Yeah, they did Puff the Magic Dragon.
Okay.
And All My Trials, all sorts of big hits in the early 60s. And then they broke up. And the only one I really followed was Stuckey, even though he became like a Christian singer, but his stuff was not so overt.
Beat you over the head with it, right?
Yeah, it would still had quality. It wasn't just dogma.
Right.
But, as a group, I thought they like Three Dog Night, they introduced people to Bob Dylan that would have never listened to Bob Dylan. And, different other, they covered Eric Anderson, who I've mentioned before, is one of my favorite songwriters from back then. That's the first time I heard his song Rollin' Home, which is one of my favorite songs. And I like his version better now, but man, when I heard theirs, it's like I had to go check him out, find out who this guy was who'd written this song because it was such a great song. So yeah, they never got much respect. And if you saw the movie Inside Llewyn Davis, there's a great moment where a guy who is not Albert Grossman, but that's who he represents, is putting together a folk group and tries to recruit Llewyn Davis, who will have none of it. And that's obviously he was trying to put Peter, Paul, and Mary together.
I see.
Because that's what happened. He found these folk singers and one comedian and put them together as a folk act because he knew it would work. And it did. And yeah, they don't get the respect. They never got very much respect. But I thought they were really good.
All right. You go, John.
Well, it's not really a specific artist, but it's sort of a genre of it's sometimes called down tempo. It's like kind of
Love down
oral.
tempo.
It's like oral wallpaper. It's like it's just music that I put on when I'm reading or doing something else, and but if it has lyrics in it, that distracts me.
Yep.
It's just like got kind of a funky, groovy beat in the background. It could be made by computers. Probably a lot of it is.
And that's fine.
But
the result is all that matters.
But there's a kind of a nice meditative vibe that they allow me to work better at.
Yeah, I agree totally. I was my guilty pleasures that I admitted the first time around were exotica and exotica and new age and then techno. So of course I'm there with down tempo. Everything about all three of those genres leads to a down tempo subgenre. So yeah. What do you think, Wayne?
Well, I have something that goes along with that sort of. It's Windham Hill artists.
Okay. Yeah.
Which back in I guess that was the 80s that started, late 80s.
Yeah.
You had George Winston, who was kind of the biggest star of that.
Yanni wasn't on Windham.
No, he was a
John Tesh, was he Windham?
No, these were all other
Michael Hedges.
Michael Hedges.
Okay.
That was the first CD I bought.
Was it?
Aerial Boundaries.
Wow. Yeah, he was an interesting guy to interview. He was different.
Yeah, I never.
But he was, Michael Hedges was one of the most innovative guitar players, acoustic guitar players anyway, out there.
He had some kind of contraption. He called it a trans trim. It was like the strings were all tuned, and there was a lever that he could switch, and all the strings would detune to a different tuning at once. And it sounds really bizarre.
Yeah.
I've never heard anyone else play a guitar like that.
Yeah, he died in a car accident.
Yeah.
Back, I guess, in the 90s.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, but there were a lot of artists. Liz Story is one that I thought was really, really good. Yeah. She was a keyboard player, and then George Winston, he was sort of their star.
Was great, yeah.
Yeah, and he recorded it was all, he called it folk piano because there were classical elements in it, but it sounded like folk tunes.
Okay. And there was not really virtuoso playing so much as just kind of laying chords in. It was setting a mood more than anything.
Yeah, and man, you could put those albums on, and it was so relaxing, but it was still interesting. Mm-hmm. And people hated it.
Yes, they did. Yes,
and it became Windham Hill became this derisive term.
Yeah,
sounds like Windham Hill music.
Yeah,
and some of it was boring, but most of it was really. Most from that label anyway was really good. Yeah, and Yanni, I would never put on a Yanni album, but I have to admit, I mean, I gave him good reviews for his shows because his shows were good.
He was a renowned live performer.
Yeah, I mean,
so if you liked his albums, you were going to like his show. I mean,
oh yeah, no, and even somebody who didn't like his albums, because I didn't really like his albums,
right?
I was always impressed with all the musicians there, and it was fun. I have to tell you though, on Yanni, that was the worst heckle. I have never seen any heckling situation worse than at a Yanni concert at the Tennessee Theater.
What, a group of hecklers or just
one drunk guy who started yelling
at Yanni?
At Yanni.
Good grief.
It's like, what? Take a Quaalude. I mean,
wow.
What in the world? Because this guy just started yelling, and his wife or his girlfriend or whatever was trying to calm him down, and security had to come and drag this guy out.
Wow.
And Yanni had to stop the show. I felt real sorry for him.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Wow.
But he was an interesting guy to interview because he was all the critics hated him.
Right.
And, you know me, I'm just nice to him. Even if I hadn't liked his music, I would have been nice to him.
I think I reviewed him with if you like this kind of thing,
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, I think you reviewed his
kind of
albums.
like stand off from it myself. But, but if it's the thing you like, he does a good job with it.
Yeah.
But he was a nice man to interview, too. Huh?
Yeah, I liked interviewing him.
He's, what, Greek?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Maybe the heckler didn't like Greeks for some reason.
I think he just didn't want to be at a Yanni concert.
Yeah.
And I mean, I understand that, but if you don't want to be there, then
Don't
get the hell
go.
out.
Don't go.
Right.
No one's holding a gun to your head.
No kidding.
Make you go.
But yeah, well, Yanni was not my favorite. But by the same token, I don't judge anybody who liked him. I mean, their musicianship was great, and what he did well.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I didn't see him live, but I agree that he was. If you like that kind of thing, he did it well.
Well, I think I reviewed him at least 4 times, maybe 5.
Wow.
Because I reviewed back then I was reviewing everything that came through.
Yeah, yeah. Oof.
But yeah.
Well.
Oh no! This is when you're going to be. You have some trepidation here.
Yeah, well, kind of trepidation, but it is a guilty pleasure, and I can't explain it. And it's like a sub genre. But I like kind of vocal extremes. I like the really deep voices, and I like high voices, especially high voices with women. I don't like. I'm kind of like the Lou Christie or whatever. I don't really like the high voice guys. But what I especially like, and more modern than in the past, I think the first one I heard was like Vanity, Pretty Mess, Prince's protege. Yeah. And she had that really high voice, and it was just all flirty and everything. That felt like it was really orchestrated by Prince, so I'm sure it was.
Oh, yeah.
But there's been like this stream of women who've been employing the high range. They're singing from their head and in the clouds and whispering and everything. The really confident, sexy women who are just like, they're just basically trying to seduce you in the most blunt way possible.
Right.
And the first one, I know I've mentioned Doja Cat, Say So many times, but she does that, and she's a rapper too. She's got a rap, she got a rap part in there where she goes, "Boy, stop playing, grab my ass," But she does the really high part too, and it's like from her head and it's high. She has a good range to her singing voice normally, but in Say So, it's just like, you need to keep me focused. If you want it, say so. And then last year, Sabrina Carpenter, Espresso, that you hated so much. But I liked it because, again, the confidence and I don't know why. And I think it's because I don't think a lot of sexy women, until Madonna came along, I don't think they really, it wasn't hip to put it out there and just be sexy and be proud of being sexy and going along, and seducing guys and not feeling any shame about it and all that. And, Madonna kind of turned the corner on that, and a lot of other women followed, whether it was, Britney Spears or whoever. But now I feel like the production has really gotten into these things. And with Sabrina Carpenter, you know, she said, he looks so cute wrapped around my finger and all of that, just like she's throwing out bad language and everything. But the one that I've mentioned it once today, or I've mentioned it once on the podcast, and that's Tate McRae's Sports Car. Mm-hmm. That song, she's 22, she's a Canadian singer. And that song came out this year, and I just by chance came across an opportunity to buy a physical copy of that album, and I did, and I put it on, and I have a CD player in my car because I wasn't going to not have one, so I had one put in. And that album, that CD is stuck in now I might listen to the radio, but if I'm listening to a CD, it's that one song. I've got it stuck on track, so it just replays that track over and over and over. And all the tricks that she's doing, she's known as a dancer, you know, so her background is really dancing. It's not even singing anyway, but she's got this voice, and she drives it higher and higher. And at one point, there's like a pre-chorus, and then there's like the chorus is like whispered, and it's very sensual. She's got, let's see, I got some lines here, Sports Car by Tate McRae, but she goes, no, you ain't got no misses. Oh, but you got a sports car. We can in it while you drive it real far. Yeah, you know what this is. Yeah, you know what this is. Later, she's talking about doing it three or four times. She says, you can do it on your own while you're looking at me. I mean, it's just like real out there. But it's just very textured. The song is really well produced. And the whispering is interesting and the counter vocals. And I thought, why is this so good to me? Well, I started watching reaction videos on YouTube, and all these Gen Z, like musician heads, they loved it. They were like, oh my God, listen to her voice. You know, it's going higher. And then I love the counter vocal. And it's got this like predatory beat, predatory rhythm. And there were some women too reviewing her. I think all the people reviewing her though were Gen Z. And I thought, you know, my people, you know, it's like you're explaining why it's so good. It's just not that she's using a high voice.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tate McRae, she's so far to me recently, she's just kind of the epitome of just, it's the kind of song, like when I was reviewing, people would do it now and then. And sometimes, you know, a guy could do it too. I'm not saying it's just, you know, women. But using the high voice and with the confidence, which is kind of a gender, you know, kind of reverse role or whatever. But I would hear a song like this now and then. I would just like step back, you know, put my hands on my hips, and I say, if I got another one of those, it's just going to take me in. And I don't know why they're so addictive, but watching the reaction videos is like, I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely something a critic is not supposed to like at all.
Yeah, I get that.
So yeah, listen to her. You'll like her better than Sabrina Carpenter.
Okay, well, I'm good. John, you have something?
Well, yeah. And I don't know if this band was. I think they probably had their critics liked them some, but I'm thinking of Counting Crows.
Oh yeah,
and I really do love a couple of their albums. I think are fantastic. And when Adam Duritz is singing on those recordings, I believe him.
Yeah.
But I just recently saw Counting Crows live, and he is just insufferable.
Really?
He's awful. He just takes himself so seriously, and like when he was doing like Mrs. Jones, you know, the hit that catapults him. He doesn't even really sing it. He just like, yeah, Mrs. Jones, and he just like sort of sings it. And
when they do that,
and like he wiped sweat off his hand with his hands, and he looked at it, and he was like,
no.
"Oh, it's so profound, I'm sweating," you know. And he sat there, all man-spreaded, singing to the audience, and it was just like, "You're just gross."
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, because I mean, I like a couple of their records. I think are fantastic.
Yeah, me too.
But he just ruins them.
Yeah,
he's dated about every hot chick that ever existed. I mean, he dated half of Friends. I don't get it.
Huh.
Yeah. I always liked him too, but I hate to hear that he sounds like that.
No. Leslie and I both were just like, just sing the damn songs.
Yeah, that's what I want. Well, I'm going to bring up Crash Test Dummies, which,
you
know, they often get lumped in.
I love his voice. That's the deep voice I like.
Great voice.
Yeah.
Brad Roberts was the singer, and their first two albums, I mean, it was hit or miss after the first two albums. But the first one's called The Ghosts That Haunt Me. I think Steve Berlin produced that one, the guy from Los Lobos, the sax player. who I think is one of the most underrated producers
That
of
whole
all
band
time.
is, I think Los Lobos is criminally underrated.
Me too. But with Crash Test Dummies, first album is really kind of folky sounding. It's all acoustic instruments. And then the second album, God Shuffled His Feet.
Yeah.
Which,
I like that album.
Yeah.
And
It's
it's
got-
a good album.
and the lyrics are so strange
Yeah.
and
I
profound.
like that too, yeah.
And the title track, just the fact that, you have all the people who God's created asking him these questions, and he goes, yeah, he doesn't ever answer them. He makes up these, these.
What do you think?
Yeah, he makes up these little parables, and they're like, was that a parable or some kind of joke? But
I agree with you on them though, because I really love God Shuffled This. When did that come out? Do you remember?
it was the 90s.
Yeah.
Didn't they cover an XTC song?
Yeah, they did. The Man Who Sailed Around Himself, or
Around His Soul.
Yes, Soul. That was it.
Okay.
Yeah, they were on that Testimonial Dinner album.
Oh, yeah. The tribute to XTC.
Yeah,
Everybody did
and
XTC
the
songs.
bass player who I interviewed when they came to Knoxville, that was his favorite bass player.
Oh, Colin Moulding.
Yeah,
He writes great bass lines.
yeah. But yeah, I thought that band. It was funny because
Yeah.
it's always gets pointed out as this awful song from the '90s, and it's like
No, it wasn't at all.
no, and it's really strange and cool.
Right.
I mean, I love the fact that he points out all these people that you remember from like the kid from high school.
Yeah.
It's like,
I love the little vignettes kind of thing, like where you get little profiles of people in the song. So
it was funny when I reviewed that concert. It was because I've reviewed so many concerts, you'd see the same people a lot of times. That was a totally different crowd.
Oh, cool.
It was like going to a Weird Al Yankovic concert. You see people you didn't see at any of these other shows.
right.
And it was cool. And there's probably my favorite song by him is Afternoons and Coffee Spoons, which was a minor hit.
I remember that.
And it's about thinking about growing old.
Yeah.
And I was sitting watching that show and watching all these really young people, teenagers, bopping around to songs about getting a receding hairline and wearing your pajamas in the daytime.
Right.
And it was just so strange and cool.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I just think they're a very underrated group.
I agree.
Cool.
So I like novelty bands, which should kind of be clear. I wasn't proud of myself for recommending Bloodhound Gang, but I thought they were funny and they were good musicians, and I even like the vocals and all that stuff. Messages terrible, never would fly today, but I did like them. I don't know. There's Lords of Acid. I would consider them a novelty band, even though they've done so many albums, just because it's so over the top with its sex, and they got, like a sex doll, basically, woman who's singing all the songs, and the songs are real. So, it's kind of a novelty.
Yeah.
And then, even like Elvis, you remember the Norwegian band, What Did the Fox Say? That was just straight up, What Does the Fox Say? That's straight up a novelty song. But I got a couple of others that I've never mentioned before, and these are so precise. One was from the 90s, and it was a flop, and it came out in 1993, and the name of the group was Rump, and it was a Los Angeles group. And the whole theme of their album the album was called Hating Brenda. And it was all about the character Brenda Walsh from Beverly Hills 90210. And Shannon Doherty, she was like the villain of the show. She's passed away now, but she was an actress from Tennessee, from Memphis. And anyway, and people would hate watch. It was one of the first times I ever remember people hate watching a show because they hated a character on it. And they hated Brenda Walsh on the show, and they kind of hated Shannon Doherty too, because she wasn't like the most popular person in the world. But this album's called Hating Brenda, and every song on it is about Brenda, and it's like this multi-genre. Like there's like a dance song called Brenda Can't Dance to This, and you get these it's like a disco-y thing, and and the vocals are, Brenda can't dance to this. Brenda can't dance to this. And then it just goes wonky, and there's like this Spanish vocal that comes in, and that was cool. And then there's another one. It's just got this backbeat. It's called "Who Is Brenda?" And you just hear this techno Brenda, 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 and then the woman, it'll stop, and the woman go, "Who is Brenda?" You know, like, who does she think? Anyway. It was genius. It was in the moment. It caught up a TV, and I don't think Rump did anything after that. I think it was a couple of fanzine people who put the album together out in L.A. And then another one. I can't believe I've never talked about baby metal. Do you all know baby metal?
Yeah.
Okay, so baby metal. I'll tell you, John. You're shaking your head. So baby metal is like you take a J-pop. It's actually a group, baby metal, but it's started its own genre. I think that's called kawaii metal, which means cute metal, and it's a heavy metal band, and it's fronted by these J-pop singers, these young women J-pop singers, and it sounds crazy, and you don't know if it's a joke or if it's real. But the metal part is actually good. It's heavy metal, but it's also kind of an alt metal. It's not always just straight up, you know. And it started a whole movement. It's brought a whole new audience. I mean, the K-pop, J-pop people, you know, they like it because it's got the women. You know, they're like the vocal bands, you know, but they're just singing up there, non-ironically, with just this heavy metal backdrop. And if you get into it, you just get into it. But I still consider it as influential as they've been. They've been around for like 15 years. As influential as they've been, I still think they kind of fall into, like Lords of Acid and the Novelty Act, kind of, because they're just doing something bizarre. So check out the baby metal. And the name of the band is Baby Metal, but like I say, there are other bands that do that kind of thing.
Well, you didn't bring up AC/DC. I mean, you know.
Oh, okay. Well, I was waiting for you to come up with the AC/DC.
I was not a big fan of them. But, you know, when you talk about bands that, I mean, they initially took AC/DC songs and did them in bluegrass.
Oh, yeah. Who's the...
Hayseed Dixie.
Hayseed Dixie, yeah. That was what it was.
Hayseed.
Hayseed.
Is it Hayseed Dixie or Hayseed DC?
DC.
Yeah.
Hayseed DC.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to look this up. There's the guy, I don't know if you've heard him, but he's like a country singer. Mm-hmm. And he has like a legit country voice and everything. Uh-huh. And he's gay, and he does these real sexual songs, non-ironically.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like...
I think I've heard of this.
Yeah, I can't... I'll look up his name.
I think it's AI generated.
No, it's a real guy. I'm sure it's a real, because I saw a story on him, and he's not even gay, but he's got like a gay brother or cousin or something like that. But
okay, well, the thing I was reading about was something, it was like, sounded like traditional, well, like pop country.
Yeah, he sounds like modern country.
Like a modern, but it's AI generated, and it's just absolutely filthy.
It is absolutely filthy. I can't do the lyrics on here, but the first time I heard it, I'm like, what the hell? I think it was on Facebook I heard it. I'll do some quick research while you go on to your example.
I got one, and I think they're probably get critical respect, but I think a lot of people kind of write this band off as sort of a novelty act, but I think they're genius, and that's They Might Be Giants.
I love They Might Be Giants. They get critical respect.
I think they do, but I mean, I think a lot of people that are sort of into the big muscular rock stuff, they'll just think, they're just singing about presidents and...
You know what one of the Johns, Flansburgh, told me. He said, we're just a new wave act.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah.
And I just really am in awe of their sheer productivity.
Yeah.
I mean, they for so many years, I think they still have, I think it's more of a web presence now, but they had an 800 number you could call. It was a dial a song, and they'd put a new song up there every day. Yeah. You could just dial in on the phone and listen to a song they had written. And I don't know that...
they also composed the music for The Daily Show, the opening theme.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But, I think they're genius. And their videos. Go on YouTube and just look up their videos. They're fantastic. Yeah,
they're terrific. And they have a series of children's albums that are terrific. My grandchildren... or my grandson and my granddaughter will get it eventually, and my nieces and nephews all grew up with the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s, and then they have one that's on science,
and they're just insanely catchy.
Well, they love, like, what Chuck's laughing over here.
Go ahead.
He's reading some lyrics of this guy. But, they love just like weird history and stuff. They've got one of my favorite songs by them is about James K. Polk.
Yep.
The 11th president.
Yep. The something of the stump.
Yeah, the Napoleon of the stump.
The Napoleon of the stump.
But yeah,
they'll write a song about anything.
Yeah, and
whatever's
it'll be
interesting
good
to them. Yeah, yeah. Well,
and they took their name from one of my favorite cult movies.
What was the movie?
They Might Be Giants.
Oh, okay.
With George C. Scott and Joanne Woodward. I think I've recommended it on here before. But yeah, it's a man who thinks he's Sherlock Holmes, and they get a psychiatrist to try to cure him, and her name is Julia Watson. So he loves the fact that her name is Watson, and then they go on some adventures. But it's
look that one up.
But yeah, they used to show it on late night TV all the time, and that's where they saw it, and that's where I was watching it. We're all the same age, and yeah,
Learn something new every day.
Yeah.
So
here we go.
The name is Dixon Dallas. And he's an alter ego. He is a real person, but he's the alter ego of a straight dude, a straight musician named Jake Hill. But he's a real guy. I mean, it's a real person. It's not an AI thing.
Yeah.
And we'll have to listen to at least one of these songs when we're done here because they're just crazy explicit. So anyway.
Well, let me throw out one.
Go for it.
And I only heard one album by them, but I thought the album was great. I didn't keep up with them. But Fits and the Tantrums, 2010.
Yeah.
And they're like a pop kind of retro, like R&B group. And their big songs were Picking Up the Pieces of Love and Money Grabber. And I thought they were just tons of fun. And
who is this again?
They're called Fits and the Tantrums.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the lead singer's name is Michael Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
And it was funny because when I talked to him, he was saying, everybody, because I said, well, it sounds like 60s R&B mixed with that kind of 80s R&B revival stuff. And he said, that's exactly. So everybody keeps saying we're a retro band. We're not a retro band
We're revivalist.
Yeah, I mean, they sounded more like Simply Red or something thrown in with some of that, 60s poppy R&B, kind of Motown stuff. But, good singer, really, I'm not a dance guy, but, kind of danceable music. It just made you feel like moving.
I can't remember the songs. I remember liking them, but that was a while ago.
Yeah.
That was 4,000 albums ago.
Yeah, I know. Well, 2010, a lot of stuff was happening about back then.
Yeah.
But I thought they didn't get... I think there were a lot of snobbish critics who just did not want something that was light and fun at that time. And they were.
Yeah.
And I think the critics that were so snobby were not really old enough hadn't heard enough to recognize that, this was a blend of things.
Right.
This is not just retro.
Right. Yeah. What Franz Ferdinand kind of was like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like you get tired of retro stuff really quick because it's just the same old.
You gotta adapt it to modern times. You can steal the core elements, and I mean, I've seen a lot of this with singers who are doing 80s style whatever. It wouldn't have worked in the 80s because it's so different, but you take it, you modulate it, you enhance it, and you still feel the 80s vibe, but you don't feel like it's something you really would have heard on the radio in the 80s.
Yeah, and that's what I liked about it. It's like it kind of respectfully drew from these things and added something modern, and I thought it worked.
Yeah. All right.
I'm thinking of a band that I got a couple of their records before I even realized that they were a Christian band, and that is a band called Jars of Clay.
Yeah.
And they just make these really nice, moody pop songs that I didn't even realize they were a Christian band until I'd been listening to them. And all of a sudden I was like, I don't know. I'm not that I'm anti-Christian or anything, but I just don't go out of my way to listen to religious music.
Right.
And so...
Whether, and
they don't beat you over the head with the Christian part of it.
When it's overt music, you kind of got to already be there and buy into all the, the dogma or whatever.
Right, preach it to the choir.
Right.
What is the point of preaching to the choir?
Right.
And that was the thing when I would interview Christian bands. It would be like, why is it that you're not just singing about human experiences and then adding the context of your faith to it?
Right. And there's some people who do that. You know, you'll hear a lot of secular songs, and then suddenly they'll have a Christian whatever message, some kind of religious message in it. But it's not every song for the sole purpose of proselytizing.
Right. And Need to Breathe, they're a lot like, I think they're a lot like Jars of Clay in that.
Was Evanescence, weren't they kind of...
I think they started as a Christian band, too.
Yeah.
But, I mean, a lot of them, it's just like it's a difference in a band of musicians who are all Christians, and they write about, what they're experiencing in life, rather than we are proselytizing.
Right.
Like you said. I mean, I that gets old really quick. You always hear the same language. It's the same thing, and it's boring as holy hell.
Good choice of words.
Holy hell.
Yeah, I know, it really is. It's like, does God, if you're praising God, really? I mean, you can't come up with something more exciting than this? Come on.
Yeah. Make it personal and three-dimensional.
Use some actual art rather than just the same old... I mean,
you should consult with Tate McRae.
Or Dixon.
Or
Dillon.
Dixon Dallas.
Dixon
Dallas.
That's going to put a good twist on it.
Yeah. Anyway, I like vocal bands. It shouldn't be a surprise. I don't like all of them, but I mean, obviously I like the Spice Girls. I mean, 80% of them were good singers, so I like that, and I like the ethic behind it, and mainly it's because they get good singers. When you're putting a vocal band together, you want them all to be able to sing, or at least everybody but Posh. And that's what they did. And I like Backstreet Boys songs, and I like some NSYNC songs. Not all of them, and I know I'm not a kid, and a lot of things that they're appealing, like trying to help me find my way through life. I'm kind of there already, so I don't really need to model myself after a singer, but. And it was more than just them. I mean, The Wanted from Britain, I like them better than One Direction. I loved All Saints, and I don't know, the Fifth Harmony. I mean, just great bands. They do anthemic songs. They sing well. They dance well, and then they go on their way, and you go on your way. And I also like K-pop. I'm sure I'm kind of given that impression, but that's just the modern vocal band. It's coming out of Asia, K-pop, J-pop, whatever. But BTS, the Boy with Love, that was a fantastic song. And the Blackpink gals, it's like you had which one was it? Jenny, she had a song called Mantra out, and Rosé, the biggest of all, did the Appartement with Bruno Mars. That was a huge hit over Christmas. And I like it, and I like the energy, and I like, it's wholesome stuff generally, but it just, when it's done well, they really focus on melody and harmony, and any music that puts that much attention on melody and harmony, I'm going to have a hard time turning away from it. So, and they're ravaged by reviewers all the time.
Really?
Yeah, of course. Well, I don't know. They've been kind of kind to K-pop. I think it's like, the writing's on the wall. You gotta, now they're taking over heavy metal. So,
Well, it was one of those things that we've talked about before. I mean, I got respect for all the boy bands after having to review their shows because they're really singing and they're good singers and they've got it down. I mean, whereas Britney Spears and some of those other acts, they're just lip syncing the whole thing.
Other things that she was bringing, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, but she couldn't. I mean, when I saw her, she wasn't even lip syncing.
Right.
But the boy bands, and I didn't like the boy bands, but when you go to the shows,
you
and it's
gotta respect it if they're actually doing the stuff.
Exactly,
they sounded good. They sure did. Yeah.
Well, this one's not. I don't know if this qualifies as it's guilt. The guilt is personal because I and we've discussed this woman before, and it's Sarah McLachlan. I don't normally, she kind of became a target of ridicule for all the, bleeding heart, save the dogs and the animals and all of this stuff. And I've heard you both
say more than that.
And I've heard both of you say that she's really got a good sense of humor and really nice. But I can't remember the name of the record. That's the green one that I just loved that record. It sounds so good. The production is amazing.
What, Fumbling Toward Ecstasy?
Yeah, I think that's it.
That was one. There's the one with the Sweet Surrender on it. I can't remember the album titles either, but She has a great voice and
amazing voice.
You follow her on Facebook. I follow her on Facebook, and she's funny and just an engaging person, you know. And she's in her niche and does a good job with it. And she's probably saved a few puppies, you know. So bonus points.
Yeah, Fumbling Towards Ecstasy is the one. I just listen to that all the time, and yet I didn't want any of my friends to know that I was listening to it. But it's
no
just,
shame.
It is just, the production is so good. I don't know, the Pierre Marchand, I think is the person that produced it. And man, it sounds amazing.
She's a great songwriter. You know, I love the lyrics, and she writes about what she knows about, you know, and it's her experience. And then the voice, you know, it's beautiful. It's not exceptional, really, but it's beautiful, and
she uses it well.
When we talk about Amy Manns, it's the same thing. They know how to use their voice for their lyrics and marry it up together so it's perfect.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm going to bring up one more. I brought them up before. They just did not get the respect they deserved. The Pointer Sisters.
Okay.
And I
told you about my interview with one of them, didn't I? That's all fair.
I believe you told me about that. Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah, there were a lot of people doing that back in that era.
Yeah, that's true.
But you know, I like the Richard Perry stuff that got to be the really big hits. I mean, Richard Perry produced all the divas and Automatic and all that stuff. That's him.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. Yeah. I'm on fire. Neutron Dance, all that stuff, and I like that.
Yeah.
But what I really like is their first few albums on Blue Thumb Records, when they came out with Yes We Can by Alan Toussaint. And Lee Dorsey had recorded that earlier, but their take on it was absolutely tremendous. Yeah. And, I mean, they had the funkiest band behind them. Yeah. That bass line was...
I reviewed a concert by them. They had
a
real great stage presence.
Yeah, well, they were great performers, and all of them were great vocalists, and they all had different ranges.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one had the low. It may have been Bonnie. Had the low.
Oh,
June.
Okay. I think Bonnie was higher.
I can't remember. One of them had the super low voice, and she was just, I mean, she was down with, Oak Ridge Boys kind of low.
Wow. I'm almost completely, I can remember I'm so excited, but that's about the only Pointer Sisters song I know.
Go back and listen to the first album, just called The Pointer Sisters, and then the second album is called That's a Plenty. They are tremendous.
All right, good.
And there's a compilation called The Blue Note Years that will get all of that early stuff in there. And it's just funky and crazy. They do a country song that is a really good country song. And, yeah, I mean, they just did not get the respect they deserved. They were great, and they went through all sorts of different phases musically, and they were all pretty good. But that early stuff, that is a band that I have never stopped listening to since I first heard them.
The low voice was Ruth.
Was it Ruth? Okay.
Well, I got something that's got nothing to do with music, but I'm highly ashamed of it. So I feel like I have to do this because I stay up at night watching this. It's videos, reels, of course, on Facebook, the video collections. And I think it's wrong. I think the people who do this are horrible people.
Well, explain what it is. I don't know what you're talking about.
And I would never do it. Oh, I'm going to. I would never do it, and I feel so bad for the people who are on the prankster end of it. And the people who do it are horrible, but it's the scare videos.
Oh yeah,
where and you have people like just wear these horrible costumes and everything, and just wait like up in the corner of the room. I saw one where a woman was hanging off the top of the doorway, and her poor husband comes in and does this, convulsion. And this one poor old woman. Her whole family scares her all the time, and she's always like jerking back. It's like, you're going to kill these people, and this is so terrible, and I can't stop laughing. So it's my bloodhound gang, but it has nothing to do with music. But I was trying to think about this topic, and I couldn't because I was watching reel after reel after reel, just compilations of people having their life scared out of them, and thinking that's so awful. Let me watch it again.
Well, I got to tell you, I watch this every once in a while because they are funny.
Yeah, they're funny.
My favorite one is like there's a guy who pops up out of a trash can and scares this. It was a big fella. And he scares him, and he just automatically punches the guy in the face. And he goes right back down to the trash can. It's hilarious.
You've seen the ones where they're like kind of dressed like a tree on the side of a city street. People walk down, they go, oh, like that. I saw one where the tree got punched, and then he was like reaching out, trying to stop him from hitting him again, and other people were pulling him back. Some people don't like it. And, you're going to kill your grandma if you do that to her.
Kidding.
But if you do it, send the video my way.
All right.
Well,
the video reels that I found that I loved was a woman and her aunt, who's an elderly woman, and the aunt was just a prankster all the time and did tricks and always had working on something to make you laugh.
Yeah.
And this young woman takes her aunt to a Costco with a big bag full of googly eyes, and they like stick them on the Quaker Oats guy, and the woman is just howling with laughter. It started a whole thing. My wife bought me a big bag of googly eyes, and so I put them on everything.
Yeah.
And it's totally harmless, and it's so funny.
I've got a dog who always has her back to me, and I sometimes want to put those on her butt, so I feel like she's looking at me. Well, are we ready for recommendations? You got anything else, John?
Nope.
Okay. Well, you want to go, Wayne, or you want me?
Well, I'm going to start off with TV shows.
Oh,
and
okay.
And Chuck, but I'm gonna recommend something else. But I just want to say, Chuck, you so undersold Alien Earth.
I know we talked about this.
Oh,
yes,
I'm enjoying
Alien
that.
Earth, the TV show, right?
It's and you buried the lead. It's by the same guy who did Fargo, the television series Fargo,
Which
I
is
did.
some of the best television I've ever
right.
seen.
Noah Hawley is the guy behind Alien Earth. And for goodness sakes, Chuck, the first 15 minutes was scarier than anything but the first two Alien movies.
Right. I'll take my lumps. I did recommend it. I did
You
do
did.
the right thing.
It's the
but
reason I watched
in
it.
the beginning, I was just immediately turned off because they made it like it was going to be all these artificial life forms that were going to be fighting each other. It's like, I want aliens. I don't want that crap, So the first part of the first episode, I was just trying to convince myself to just stop watching it. You're wasting your time.
Okay.
And I kept watching it. And as I kept watching, I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. Oh, these characters are cool. Oh, that's a great plot. And it just grew on me. But in the beginning, I just kind of like... And so I think I was trying to, when I was recommending it, I was trying to, have the disclaimer that I didn't like it at first. And I thought I was going to hate it. And I just wrote it out. And it was like, oh, this is actually an excellent show.
Well, I watched right now there's 4 episodes out. I watched them all. And then I decided, Sarah's going to like this.
Right.
So we watched the first 2 again I watched them again this morning so she could see them.
Did she like them?
She loved them.
Okay.
And she said, but I can't watch this alone. So I may have to watch the next 2.
You may have to watch with this.
But it's... And actually, I'll recommend what I was going to recommend. I'm just finished talking about this so I don't take up more time. But... it's suspenseful. It has like characters that you want to know more about. The Timothy Oliphant character, he is really good playing what he's playing in this. Yeah. And it's like there's so much more depth. It's just like Fargo was. Fargo was like you kept getting more reveals on who these characters are and more into them. And I think that's the way this is going.
Yeah, so many of the characters are complex. They're not just good or bad,
right?
And they've got a lot going on.
The best characters are like that, I think.
Yeah,
in any TV show or movie.
And there's more aliens than just alien.
Yeah. There's more than just the basic alien form. There are other forms of aliens,
and they're all kind of equally creepy.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to see what's going to happen to that one character who encountered the eyeball.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's an eyeball. It's basically it kind of goes back to the old. There was an eye that was like had a kind of an octopus body back in the 60s that I can't think of the name of the underground artist who came up with that.
Okay.
But
it looks like something you would draw.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And, man, I love it. It's like an eyeball with octopus legs, kind of, and it has irises that go all the way around it.
Oh, weird. Yeah.
Yeah, and, then the irises can all come together to one, make like a regular eyeball. But man, it's creepy and it's cool, and I'm glad you recommended it, Chuck.
Yeah.
But man, your enthusiasm last week.
Sold it.
Yeah, it was like, because I've been waiting. I mean, Alien is such a great character.
Yeah.
I mean, when they came up with this monster that we'd not seen before, with all these qualities, it's like, this is great.
Yeah, one of the best villains ever invented because it was indestructible, basically.
Right, and those first two movies are scary as hell. The first Alien is one of the scariest movies of all time. Yeah. And then from there on out, it's just been kind of garbage.
Yeah, pretty,
I liked the parts of the fourth one, the same guy, because it was direct.
Prometheus?
No, it was Resurrection, I think. It was the last one Sigourney Weaver was in. Yeah.
That wasn't Winona Ryder, though, right? Or was it? I don't know.
No, I can't remember if she was in that one or not. But they had Ron Perlman and, all the people that
he uses in his movies. Yeah.
The same guy who directed Amelie and a movie I'm going to recommend.
All right,
there you go.
For TV, we gave up on Succession.
Okay.
I could not find any redeeming qualities.
I couldn't stick it out
in any of those characters.
Yeah.
They were all horrible.
Yeah.
And Leslie and I were both just like, if somebody pees on the carpet another time, it's just, it's just gross.
I was going to say, like when we were talking about the Alien, it's like the characteristics of all the characters. You want your heroes flawed, and you want your villains to have redeeming qualities, and Succession just didn't do that.
None of them have any.
No. It's like I can't pull for anybody.
So, in its place, we have replaced it with a show on Amazon Prime called Broadchurch.
Okay.
It's been out. There's 3 seasons of it. It's a British crime procedural. Olivia Colman is in it, and she's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's got a really good plot. I think we're 4 episodes into the first season, but it's about the death of a child, and it's they're investigating how it happened, and the characters are every episode the new facet of a character is revealed, and you in one episode I thought, oh, that guy did it, and then the next one I'm like, no, he didn't do it, it's that guy, and it's one of those. So it's really good. It's called Broadchurch.
Broadchurch on, what'd you say?
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime. Mm-hmm. All right. So this should be, I believe, our schedule. This episode comes out in the first week of August, so October. We've already passed August. Anyway, so time for a good Halloween movie. We did a compilation last year of great scary movies, but one that didn't come up. And I don't know that it's great, but it's from 2023, and it was called Hell of a Summer. And in it, you have this character who's really, it's kind of a horror comedy, a slasher comedy type movie. And the main character is this 24-year-old played by Fred Headringer, who was he was Sydney Sweeney's little brother in White Lotus, the first White Lotus. He was a dreamer who wanted to be the rower, and he wanted to stay in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So he's playing a 24-year-old. They got a beard on him and everything. And what he's doing, his mom's driving him in the opening. His mom's driving him to camp. And she's like, you need to get on with your life. You need an education. You need to make money. And he's like, they pay him $115 a week to go be at this camp. And what he's doing, he's joining with the other counselors who are more all in their teens, later teens, before the kids come in. So that's very parallel to Friday the 13th, which, it was, again, counselors gathering to get camp ready, and then some serial killer named Jason. And our main character's name is Jason, but don't read too much into that, but I think that was an homage to it. But the thing about this movie is it's very, very Gen Z. 2 of the co-stars are also 2 directors, Finn Wolfhard, I always do this, and Billy Brick. They're 22 and 25 years old. So all of these people, and the Fred guy is 25. So all of these people are Gen Zs. And so it's a horror film by them, and it's a low budget. They only spent a couple of million on it, which is low budget. And they most of the characters are actors you won't recognize. And they're all types. But what I want to say about it is that it's not that it's so scary. It's not particularly, it's violent, but it's not like, oh, God, violence or anything like that. It's funny, and it's got this kind of weird humor. And one of the best things I can say about it, and I can't give examples because I don't want to give anything away, but it's like almost every character, when they get killed, they have a great line, like right before they die. And it just had me laughing and waiting for the next kill and all that stuff. And, it's got some twists and turns, so it's got some interest there. But what I'm saying is it's on streaming. I think it's on Amazon Prime and Apple TV and Hulu, Disney Plus, all those things. You should be able to watch it free now because it's been out a couple of years. It got mediocre reviews, but it's very easy to watch. And if you watch the same Halloween movies all the time, you can clear your palate a little bit with this one, see how the Gen Z people are doing. There's some awkwardness with them being, so young and non-veterans. But I had a great time just sitting there watching it on my couch. Good way to spend an hour and a half in October.
Cool.
Again, it's a hell of a summer.
Is hell of a...
Hell, no, it's four words. Hell of a summer.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, I'm going to bring up for a musical recommendation somebody I considered bringing up for the Guilty Pleasures section, Donovan.
Okay.
Who was, never got... Initially, he got some respect, then he got dismissed. It was one of those situations where he kept going back and forth.
What was his big hit that was...
Well, Mellow Yellow and Hurdy-Gurdy Man.
Slick.
Yeah, Mellow Yellow I like okay, but Hurdy-Gurdy Man is a great song.
Yeah.
And they've used it in a lot of movies since.
Yeah.
But I think the best collection of Donovan stuff is called Troubadour, the Definitive Collection. And it goes from 1964, it actually starts with some of his early demos, and then goes up to 76 when he was not that big of a deal anymore.
Right.
But he was still doing some pretty good music. I think that the album Hurdy-Gurdy Man, which came out in 68, is, if you're not going to get this collection, go with that one because it's got some of his best stuff.
I really like Barabajaggle.
Barabajaggle is I can't say it right. But yeah, that's got the Jeff Beck group backing him up. And he had a lot of good stuff. I mean, he had Jimmy Page is on some of playing his guitar on some of the stuff, and Jeff Beck plays guitar on some of the stuff. So he always had great musicians backing him up, and he was supposed to be England's answer to Bob Dylan, and he wasn't. Oh. But it's really good, and he's a little bit too hippie trippy sometimes. But
that's not a bad thing, is it?
Well, sometimes it is. Sometimes it gets a little much. But Wear Your Love Like Heaven, man, I love that song. It's a great song, and he had stuff all the way through that's pretty good. I mean, Lalania's a great song, and tons of them. But you can find them all there. And Catch the Wind, that's been used on commercials a lot.
So it's a compilation. What is the name again?
Yeah, it's called Troubadour: The Definitive Collection. There's a lot of different best ofs for Donovan, but I think that's the one that gives you the best kind of breadth on who he is as an artist.
Okay, John.
I want to recommend an album I got so into. It's from 1993, and it's by a British band called Swerve Driver, and their album Mezcal Head. And it's really guitar forward, but it's real sort of angular guitars.
Like mescaline or...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Mezcal. M-E-Z-C-A-L. M-E-Z-C-A-L. Mezcal Head. But I was really into Sonic Youth at the time, and this was sort of adjacent to Sonic Youth.
Okay.
And that I think they use weird alternate tunings on their guitars, and they get these weird angular hooks that really sink in. I played the crap out of that album.
Okay.
So Swerve Driver, Mezcal Head from 93.
We've critically talked about Sonic Youth. We should pull them out.
Yeah, we got to bring out some. I mean, they're one of those bands that sometimes I can listen to them and really enjoy them, and sometimes it's like
unbearable.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I've had enough of this.
Yeah.
Well, I've got something you will find unbearable, and that's Sabrina Carpenter's new album. It came out August 29th, 2025, so it just came out. And the name of her album is Man's Best Friend. And I joked in a previous episode about, she's got like 10 albums. And this actually is her 7th album. She's 26 years old. And she's one of those who just turns around albums like again, like Madonna. I was telling you how Madonna was one of the reasons she was so popular. Is she just kept putting out new albums, and that's what Sabrina Carpenter's doing. And I think you can describe it as kind of an 80s pop, and then kind of a Dolly Parton style pop, and also like dance music and R&B. But she is consistently that sarcastic potty mouth that she is, in Espresso, and it's cynical. It's a breakup album, and it's pretty cynical, and she's got a lot of maybe too cynical, a little too dark, maybe. But she applies so much humor to it that you just go with it as a breakup album. I always got
the impression, talking to you guys, that Sabrina Carpenter was kind of squeaky clean.
Oh no, no.
Who is
squeaky clean? Oh gosh, I don't know. Not the women I talk about.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't think any of us have talked about many squeaky clean women.
Yeah, relative would be. Taylor Swift is probably more squeaky clean than what we talk about.
Well, this is not a genre that I know anything about, but
Billie Eilish definitely not. Olivia Rodrigo definitely not.
Well, you'll appreciate this, Chuck.
Okay.
I went to babysit my granddaughter last week. And what was on TV was a stream of Sabrina Carpenter videos.
Awesome.
I was thinking, I didn't change the TV channel quite, as fast as I wanted to.
Right.
And it was like, is this all Sabrina Carpenter videos?
Did you see Manchild? Was that one of them? Because that was the lead single for this new album.
Probably.
It's Manchild is great. The video is awesome. She's traveling across the country and just meets one bad man after another.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one of them. I think that was the first. I think that's when I came in. That's what we were on.
She has the line, "I like my men all incompetent" in it, so that was cool. There's one, definitely not squeaky clean, called "Tears," and it's a dance song, and she meets a responsible man who does all the right things, and she says, "Tears run down my thighs." So she sounds kind of like Dolly and the We Almost Broke Up Again last night. So it's about a relationship that's going to end. When Did You Get Hot? She meets this guy. I forget what his name is, like Dylan or Destin or Devin or something. And she goes, the line is, "You were an ugly kid, but you're a sexy man." So she's finding her mojo back. It's a lot, and there's one called "Don't Worry, I'll Make You Worry." So she's vowing to be a passive-aggressive, mean, dominatrix type girlfriend if he wants to go out with her, and that's a positive.
Okay,
for her.
All right.
So, like I say, it's a breakup album, so you allow her some cynicism, and then of course she's got her humor. But you won't care for it. But other people might.
My daughter likes her a lot.
Yeah, well, there we go. Perfect. I need to have your daughter in here to back me up, because I always feel like you're glaring at me. I was like, "Where's Lauren?"
I'm not glaring at you. No, you and Lauren have always had similar
We've
taste on things. Yeah,
we're simpatico. We got weird traits we share.
Yep,
so,
you do.
But anyway, and she's a great listener and great feedback. So.
You never did recommend something to watch.
Well, I'm going to save that.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I'm going to save that for next week.
Okay.
Because I talked so
we'll
long
just double down on
Alien Earth.
Alien Earth.
Because I highly recommend it, more highly than Chuck recommended it last week.
Yeah. Well, I second that, I guess. Okay. Well, we're going to head out of here. If you got any questions for us, you can email us at howweheardit@gmail.com. If you've got any comments or ideas, topics for us, you can. And if you want to see us on social media, we're on everything as How We Heard It. We're on Facebook and X and Instagram and whatever, TikTok and YouTube. Yeah, we're on YouTube. So we look forward to seeing you there, or at least talking to you again next week. Thank you.
You've been listening to How We Heard It with Chuck Campbell and Wayne Bledsoe, a podcast about music, movies, art, culture, whatever it is that's on their mind. How We Heard It was recorded at the Arbor Studio in Knoxville, Tennessee by me, John Baker. How We Heard It is a Cozy Planet production. If listening to this podcast has given you a burning sensation, then we recommend you sit in a hot tub until your symptoms fade away. If you'd like to reach out to Chuck or Wayne or even me, you can send an email to howweheardit@gmail.com. So thank you for listening, and come on back and we'll have another episode for you next week.